You owe it to yourself in 2025, the wake-up call you can't ignore. You're standing at a locked door, frustrated, confused, waiting, but what you've never realized is that you're holding the key, and you've been holding it for years. Because here's the truth, no one's coming to save you. Not this year. Not next year, not ever. And deep down, you know that. You felt it. In the quiet mornings where you hope something changes, in the nights you scroll, looking for signs, waiting for a breakthrough that never arrives. Some savior, some sign, some perfect alignment that makes life easier. But what if the wait is the problem? What if your need for comfort is the very thing suffocating your growth? Ask yourself this out loud if you have to. What am I waiting for? And why? 2025 won't wait. It won't slow down for your healing. It won't hand out participation trophies for almost and maybes. It will shine a light on everything you've ignored, your broken habits, your invisible excuses, the dream you keep postponing until next week. This year isn't a vibe. It's a verdict, a moment to choose between who you've been and who you finally decide to become. You owe it to your younger self, the one who believed before the world convinced them to shrink. You owe it to your future self, the one silently begging you not to waste another year. But most of all, you owe it to the version of you standing in front of that locked door right now, the one holding the key but too afraid to turn it. Say it again, to yourself, I'm done waiting. You don't need motivation. You need movement. You don't need a sign. You need to decide. And you already know what needs to happen. Let's begin. They told you to believe in yourself, to stay positive, to trust the process. But here's what they didn't say. Belief without action is fantasy. Positivity without grit collapses under pressure. And the process? It's going to break you long before it builds you. They said, follow your dreams. But they didn't warn you that dreams are brutal. They cost time, energy, friends, comfort. They demand everything you've ever used to hide from your potential. Let's pause here. Ask yourself, what am I still unwilling to give up? Because that's where your real limitation lives. They didn't tell you that most people never make it. Not because they couldn't, but because they waited for motivation to come save them. But here's the truth no one will say out loud. No one is coming. No mentor's going to knock on your door. No boss is going to suddenly see your value. No routine, no journal, no podcast will fix the habits you refuse to break. You either do it or you don't. The world, it's loud. It rewards results, not good intentions. It doesn't care how much you want it. It cares whether you're moving. So if you're still waiting for a sign, this is it. Say it out loud right now. No one is coming, so I'm going. You say life's unfair? You're right, but unfair isn't a sentence. It's your edge. You say you're behind? Then stop scrolling and catch up. Not with them. With you, the version of yourself who'd be miles ahead if you started when you said you would. And if it stings, good. Because pain is the only teacher that doesn't lie. But here's the part that flips everything. If you're the reason you're stuck, you're also the reason you can rise. That's power. So stop saying, I'll try. Start saying, I'm in. Fully, messy, scared, but present. Because 2025 doesn't care about your plans. It will only remember your moves. You want to know what's really holding you back? It's not your job. It's not your bank account. It's not your past, your parents, or your trauma. It's you. Not all of you, just the version of you that's terrified of becoming powerful. The version that whispers, maybe tomorrow, when the mirror screams, now. There's a war happening inside your head. And most people, they lose it, quietly, repeatedly. Not because they're weak, but because they never showed up for battle. They scroll. They numb. They lie to themselves with soft words like rest and patience, when what they really mean is escape. Let me tell you something raw. There was a night I sat in my room, holding my phone, ready to quit something important. Finger hovering over the message. I'm out. But I didn't press send. I sat there, shaking, sweating, and that night, something shifted. I didn't win the war, but I showed up to fight it. And that's what most people never do. They want to change, but they want to face the shadow version of themselves, the one that's addicted to comfort and allergic to commitment. Let me ask you something right now. What are you pretending isn't killing your progress? Because here's the truth. Until you confront what you've been avoiding, you'll never become what you were born to be. You can mimic motivation, copy discipline, post like you're growing. But if you haven't named your fear, you're just performing. Say it out loud. I am the problem. And right after say this, I am the fix. That's where the fire starts. Not in the journal, not in the gym, but in that one sentence of unfiltered self-awareness. You don't need another strategy. You need to sit in silence and ask, what have I been running from? Because the moment you name it, you get your power back. The fear doesn't vanish, but now it has a shape. Now it has a target. And when you face that target, win or lose, you don't walk the same. You don't talk the same. You don't live the same. You move like someone who's met the darkness and chose to keep walking anyway. You want to change your life? Then fix the one thing nobody sees, your mind, because right now it's cluttered. Too many tabs open, too many voices, and only one of them is yours. You're not broken, but your thinking might be fractured. And you can to build a new life with a mind that hasn't been cleaned out. Let me ask you something. When's the last time you sat alone, with no music, no podcast, no phone, and just listened to your thoughts? Scary, isn't it? That voice in your head? It's not wise. It's just loud. And it's been trained by your fears, not your future. So retrain it. Because mental toughness isn't natural. It's not in your genetics. It's not on your vision board. It's built. Gives at 5 a.m. when no one's watching. Gives in that one rep when your body says stop. Gives in that one choice to stay focused when your mind screams for dopamine. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. So build systems that are stronger than your moods. Build habits that don't need hype to function. Build mental discipline like you build muscle, with consistent, intentional, quiet reps. And when life slaps you, when everything spins, when the room goes dark, you don't crumble because you've trained for chaos. You've rehearsed struggle. You've walked through fire on purpose. You want to be mentally strong? Then stop chasing what feels good. Start choosing what builds self-respect. That means gives do the hard thing, even when no one sees it. Give stick to your plan, especially when it's boring. Give sit in the silence until clarity rises through the noise. Because self-respect isn't built in dopamine spikes. It's built in the discipline of doing what matters. When comfort whispers, let's take a break. Your goal isn't perfection. Your goal is preparation. Prepare for success that takes longer. Prepare for the day motivation doesn't show up. Prepare for the pressure that would have crushed the old you. This is how you build a mind that doesn't break. Not by feeling unstoppable, but by training until breaking is no longer an option. Everyone's chasing purpose like it's out there, like it's a job title, a mission statement, a perfect morning routine with a soundtrack and a spotlight. But what if I told you, you've had it backwards the whole time? Purpose isn't out there. It's not in your goals. It's not in your job. It's in your quiet decisions. It's in the way you talk to yourself when no one's listening. It's how you show up when there's no timeline, no plan, no audience. It's what you do when no one will ever know if you quit. That's purpose. You're not waiting to become it. You already are it. Let that sink in for a second. Say it to yourself. Right now, I am the purpose. You waking up? That's enough. You breathing? That's the proof. You choosing to try again after yesterday failed? That's mission accomplished. The problem is, most people don't believe they're worth that kind of devotion, so they chase approval. They grind for validation. They attach their worth to outcomes, titles, checklists, and when the applause fades, so does their identity, but not you. Because now you know purpose isn't the finish line. It's every step you take toward who you said you'd be, even when no one notices, even when no one claps, even when it's slow, messy, and silent. Ask yourself this: would I still do the work if no one ever saw it? Would I still show up if no one ever rewarded it? If the answer is yes, you've already found what everyone else is searching for. Purpose isn't hype. It's a vow. It's saying, I'm worth the work, even when I don't feel like it. I'm worth the discipline, even when I fail. I'm worth the effort, even when no one else believes in me yet. You are the mission. Your life is the message. And your breath is the only permission slip you'll ever need. So stop chasing. Start becoming. Everyone loves day one. You've got the playlist, the vision board, the fire in your gut. You post a quote, write the goals. Announce to the world, this is my year. But here's the question no one asks you. Where are you on day 50? When your body's sore, when motivation left 3 weeks ago, when no one's texting to check in, when the only sound is your own thoughts asking, is this even worth it? That's where most people quit. Not because they couldn't finish, but because they thought it would feel better than this. But success? Success doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired, uninspired, or forgotten. It rewards one thing: consistency without applause. Real growth is ugly. It happens in silence. It happens in doubt. It happens when the only voice you hear is the one in your head, and you choose to walk anyway. You want to win? Then stay when it's boring. Stay when you're tired. Stay when your mind says, no one will know if you take a day off, because you'll know. And that knowing will eat you alive. Every time you show up when quitting was easier, you send a message to your future. I didn't come this far to leave myself behind. That's how confidence is built. Not in the gym. Not in the mirror. In the trenches. In the moments no one will ever post. So finish. Even if you crawl. Even if it's not pretty. Even if the world forgot you were still fighting. Finish because it's yours. Because you started it. Because the version of you that began this didn't know how strong you become. You're not the dreamer anymore. You're not the starter. You're not the I'll try again next week. You're the finisher. Scarred, steady, still standing. Say it now, mean it. I finished what I started. You made it to the end of this video. But more importantly, through something most people never face, yourself. You looked at the mirror. You stopped running. You listened to the voice that doesn't scream, but knows. You faced your excuses, your patterns, your silence. And now you're standing in front of that same locked door, the one you stared at for months, maybe years, waiting for someone to open it. But now you know you've been holding the key the whole time. So the only question left is, will you turn it? Because if you don't, nothing changes. And if you do, everything can. This isn't about hype. This is about proof. You've already made it further than the voice in your head told you could. So don't stop now. Don't scroll away and forget this moment. Let it mark you. Let it move you. Say it one last time. I owe it to myself to finish what I started. Not next month. Not when it's easy. Now. If this video spoke to something deep inside you, don't let that feeling fade. Give subscribe so you never forget who you're becoming. Give rewatch this when your doubt returns. Give send it to someone who's standing at their own locked door, holding their key. This isn't motivation. This is your moment. And it only works if you turn it.
This is your space, where clarity meets transformation. Subscribe and return each week to sharpen the mind and strengthen the soul.